safe streets, vibrant neighborhoods, successful business and commerce. These are things that make a healthy community. We are a diverse community, rural, suburban, urban, a multitude of languages and ethnicities, ages and experiences. We are a collaborative community. Public-private partnerships make us a model community that others want to follow. It is what makes us unique. It is what makes us strong. The employees of Kent County reflect our diversity and seek to serve our communities.
People in this county, in this area, we wrap our arms around each other. We come together to collaborate, to solve problems. We're all working for the good of the whole. And I think that's wonderful. And you can see it. You can see it as you drive around Kent County.
Our impact starts the day a baby is born and a birth certificate is issued, to protecting children from deadly diseases through vaccination, to the public safety and justice provided by law enforcement and the courts, to offering veterans services and caring for the elderly. Every day we work to keep our communities robust.
I think if you are somebody who's interested in serving your community, in building a strong knowledge base and a good group of people to work with, then the county is one of your best employment opportunities out there. It's been completely rewarding in every way I could possibly explain for 26 years, and I feel like I grow every single day still today.
Leading these dedicated employees, our 19-member Board of Commissioners and our County Administrator Controller, along with our elected officials and appointed department directors, placing emphasis on civic involvement, quality housing, vibrant neighborhoods, and strong, solid infrastructure to allow businesses to thrive. Professional, dedicated, collaborative, and innovative.
Behind the scenes, collaboration between foundations, charitable organizations, nonprofits, for-profit businesses, public sector demonstrated through the county, the city of Grand Rapids, the townships, all the cities and the villages in our area. If we don't come together, then we will not have the strength that we have today, and I only hope to build upon that.
Our aim is to make our communities the best they can be. We are involved in exciting development projects, sustainable recycling programs, and creative progressive prevention programming. We partner with elected officials, impacting policy ideas that become great achievements. We seek opportunities to reach out into the community and offer our services to help our residents make Kent County thrive.
Our relationship is solid, both from a staff standpoint at the county level as well as the Board of Commissioners. And they understand what we do and the benefits that we can do for the community, and vice versa. We couldn't do what we do without the help of Kent County.
While most of us are busy running our lives, Kent County's elected officials, administrator controller, and over 1,600 employees are serving the communities where we live our lives, so we can all have a place we are proud to call home. Kent County, its life well run.
Good morning. Right. It is my pleasure to start the Finance and Physical Resources Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 19th. It is 8:30 a.m. Given the circumstances in our county, we're going to do something a little different this morning. We're going to take a moment of silence as we remember everything that just happened yesterday in Cedar Springs. It is a significant tragedy for our county, and if we could just take a moment to reflect on that and be grateful for the first responders that we have available to assist with these moments. This is a good time to do that, so please. Thank you. We will now start with public comment. Is there any public that would like to address the Finance and Physical Resources Committee this morning? Okay, seeing none, I will close public comment and we'll move to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Support.
Moved and supported. Questions, comments, or discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. That brings us to item 3 from the Administrator's Office. Wayman?
Yes, this is a request to the board to authorize the board chair or his designee or her designee to sign two grant agreements with the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission and approve grant extensions and changes up to 15% of the original award. In 2013, the MIDC Act was passed, which requires trial courts and their associated funding units throughout the state to take actions that will ensure indigent defendants in criminal actions have constitutionally required level of legal defense. The MIDC Act requires the state to provide funding for required activities that meet compliance with new indigent defense standards, which exceeded a funding unit's spending on indigent defense measured over a 3-year period. Kent County submitted implementation plans for the first 4 standards on behalf of 2 courts it funds, the 17th Circuit Court and the 63rd District Courts. These plans were approved by the MIDC in June of 2018. The county needs to sign 2 grant agreements, one for each court to receive the state funding. Receiving the first grant, payment starts a 180-day implementation period, at the end of which the new standards must be fully met. The grant funds, along with the county's local share, will be put into a special project fund that can only be used for its spending on the indigent defense. The grant amounts for the 17th Circuit Court is $840,800 and $92,800 for the 63rd District Court. The grant period is from October 1, 2018 to September 30 of 2019. The grant agreement will be reviewed and approved as to form by corporate counsel prior to submission of the signature.
There a motion to approve?
So moved.
And support? Moved and supported. Questions, comments, and discussion? Yes, Commissioner Bukowski.
Thank you, Chair. My question is along the lines of the whole tracking of these changes that have come from our friends in Lansing. I've been aware of this enough in the sense of these changes, making sure that folks are getting the representation, and then I know there are other issues like related to, are we going to treat 17-year-olds like juveniles instead of adults, and will those impacts on us as a county? So I guess that boils down to the question of how well are we tracking these numbers, and then making sure that it remains a high legislative priority so that, again, Lansing doesn't just continue to push the unfunded mandates our way.
Right. It is definitely a high level priority for us. It will be, the indigent defense issue has been ongoing for us. It will continue to be. We have several staff that are on this, from the administrator's office, working alongside the 63rd District Court, the prosecutor, the sheriff's office. In fact, we're very, I would consider, leading in this area. So Craig Paul from our office has been the lead from a legal standpoint. Matthew Van Zetten early on was involved, Linda Howell from our office. And then, of course, we've got the priorities for the Legislative Review Committee coming up. The issue about 17-year-olds aging out,
Right.
that is an important item that you will be reviewing as a board as well. So that's
Right.
all on tap for us this coming year.
All right.
We're way out in front of this. We're partnering with Oakland County, other counties on the east side. There's a whole collaborative. Craig, you want to come up and just give a thumbnail sketch of that collaborative, what's happening with that? I saw a memo from you to them a week or so ago.
Sure. Good morning. As the MIDC has started to get to the point of actual implementation now, it came out with the initial grant agreement and funding arrangements. We looked at that and said, gee, this grant agreement could use some work. We joined with a number of other counties, Oakland, Washtenaw, Allegan, Van Buren, Jackson, Isabella, and said, gee, let's work together to try and get this pulled together in a little bit better shape than it was. That finally bore fruit, and that's why we're now moving this, the actual approval of the grant agreement forward. We were originally scheduled to start in October, but until we can get the grant agreement in place, that then triggers the release of the funds, and once we get the funds, then we can actually start the implementation.
Okay.
But we've been working not only with those counties, but within Kent County itself. Everything really centers around work that we do at the jail, and so we've also been having a series of monthly meetings with the courts and funding units within Kent County, because everything wraps around the new corrections officers at the jail and
So
the
the other
ability to
district
escort
courts.
people.
The other district courts.
The other district courts. So
Right, because we already approved those positions at the jail, correct? To deal with
That's
the-
correct.
All right.
And we haven't hired yet because we've been waiting for the disbursement of funds.
All right, thank you so much. Just watching Lansing.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. We move to item 4 from Fiscal Services. Wayman?
Yeah, this is a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to appropriate an additional $74,000 to the 2018 Lodging Excise Tax Fund budget. The county levies a lodging tax in the amount of 5% on hotel motel facilities in Kent County as provided by PA 263 of 1974. Per the agreement with the Experience Grand Rapids, the county would distribute 17.25% of 2018 lodging excise tax revenue to Experience Grand Rapids. If lodging excise tax revenue is greater than $9,750,000, the county will distribute 17.5% to Experience Grand Rapids. For 2018, the county budget estimated lodging excise tax receipts of $2,500,000 and appropriated $1.8 million for distribution to Experience Grand Rapids. The 2018 lodging tax receipts generated $10.8 million, with $1.8 to be distributed to Experience Grand Rapids. Because of the unanticipated lodging tax, excise tax revenue, an additional appropriation of $74,000 is recommended for distribution to Experience Grand Rapids.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? Support. Moved and supported. Questions, comments, and discussion? Yes, Commissioner Morgan?
It's nice to see, I've been around when the lodging excise tax was heading in the other direction, and have some incentives in the contract with Experience Grand Rapids, which I thought was a great move. What year are we in the contract, and Wayman, and when will it come up
I think we're in
for?
the third year, I think.
Probably should have asked this before the meeting, but
No, that's
I
okay.
believe we're entering the third year.
Entering the third.
third, 3 of 5?
Yeah.
I believe it was.
3 of 5?
I'll be happy to check and get back to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, yeah, just wondering where we were as far as, our position in the contract.
We meet with Doug Small and his team on a monthly basis, or is it
I
bi-monthly,
imagine, yeah.
to make sure that we're on the same page about what they should be delivering. So,
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Commissioner Bukowski?
Yeah, I just want to welcome the new commissioners to my zone of abstentions, where I need to abstain from this just for consistency. Conflict of interest that Disability Advocates continues to do more and more work with Experience Grand Rapids on accessibility of our various venues and making sure that we're as inclusive and welcoming a community as possible. And just, again, it's an exciting partnership, though enough of a conflict for me just to be consistent to let you know, so I will be abstaining from that, or from this. So you'll hear me do that a few times through the year.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, and any abstentions? All right, duly noted. Motion passes. We will now go to item 5 from the Health Department. Wayman?
yes, this is a request to the board to approve amendments to the Health Department's fee schedule and appropriate $3,800 to the 2018-19 Health Fund. Public Act 368 of 1978, as amended, allows a local government to fix and require the payments of fees for services authorized or required to be performed by the local health department. Said fees should not be more than reasonable cost of providing the service. The health department has attempted to create a fair and equitable fee schedule that captures the cost of services provided in a consistent manner with the reimbursement rates for Medicaid and other insurance companies. Originally, Medicaid and other insurers have increased the reimbursement rates from $192 to $386 for the lead investigation service. As a result, the Health Department is recommending a change to one existing fee with an effective date of April 1, 2019. The proposed fee change will generate an additional $3,800 for the remainder of the 2018-19 fiscal year to cover currently unreimbursed expenses. The revenue will be used to cover the cost of testing supplies that are required to provide the lead investigations in the homes.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Approve. Motion.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Questions, comments, and discussion? Yes, Commissioner Wooden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick question. When it comes to, I'm looking at the increase in amount, does that suggest that a very low number of individuals are utilizing this lead service? Just writing off the conversation we had previously. Okay.
Good question. Teresa Branson is here, our Deputy Health Administrator.
Can you repeat the question? I want to make sure I understand.
Well, I was just kind of looking at the number of how much the fee change will generate additional revenue. It suggests that a very low number of individuals are using the lead investigation service. And so I'm wondering what's being done to increase that amount, especially after last Board of Commissioners meeting, we had a large number of families here asking for us to take further action on lead prevention.
Yes, thank you, absolutely. You know, it may seem like a low number, and that number is based on the number of staff that we currently have to perform the inspections. And then since the last meeting, there was a group that requested to meet with Commissioner Bolter, and that meeting took place last Friday. Commissioner Bolter asked Adam London, our health officer, to attend that meeting with that group, moms and grandmothers. And during that meeting, Adam had shared that Commissioner Bolter and him, and I believe Commissioner Womack was also present for that meeting, and just really took the time to listen to those concerns of the moms and grandmothers group. Adam had shared that there is going to be an action request that he's preparing to come to county administration and the board. That action request will entail 2 full-time sanitarians. That gets us closer to meeting some of the recommendations for staffing that's needed for lead investigations. That proposal will be shared with our Community Health Advisory Committee on March 7th. And then further things that are being done to address the need for more lead investigations that would also increase the amount of revenue for reimbursement for that is we have been working with Chris Becker on the prosecuting attorney's office on some enforcement. And a enforcement proposal policy will also go forward to our Community Health Advisory Committee on March 7th as well. And that enforcement policy is really to work with some of the homes that have multiple children with elevated blood lead levels, that's a mouthful, to really take a look at what they can do to have more enforcement with rental units. And then the third area that we're looking at in terms of staffing to kind of meet that demand and therefore increase that number of lead investigations is with the early childhood millage. The health department does plan to put a proposal in there to fund the third position that was requested by was requested through the lead task force recommendations, and that would be for a health educator to provide some education to families and some community outreach. But in addition to the action request, we're working with the city of Grand Rapids to see if they can fund a portion of the positions, and we're also actively pursuing grants wherever we can to help offset those costs to the county.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, anything else? Yes. Commissioner Womack.
Yes, I did attend that meeting, and I'm glad I did, because I heard a lot of positive things that came out of there, a lot of things that I do support, but I did make a suggestion when it came to enforcement that we look more at city inspectors and codes and those type of situations where those inspectors can put fees upon people who are not complying, and I thought that the community might be taken a little aback if our prosecuting office gets involved. But just saying that at the onslaught of seeing this start, I haven't had a chance to see exactly how the prosecutor would be involved, so I can't say I'm against it. I'm just saying my community, might be alarmed that the prosecuting attorney might be involved in something like this, and he's doing such a great job. So if we don't have to put anything else on his plate, hopefully we can find a better way for enforcement. But I do look forward to finding out exactly how he would be involved.
Yes, Commissioner Sparks.
Thank you so much. I was wondering about the duplication of services with the grants that you are getting. Is it Who was that came before us? Was that Healthy Homes?
Yes.
Healthy Homes, and then there's another lead initiative. Do you work closely together with them, or are they separate nonprofits?
Yeah, so we work very closely with Healthy Homes Coalition. We have for a number of years to prevent, make sure we don't have the duplication of services. And then we have our child lead poisoning prevention program, which is funded through the State Health Department. We're also involved in the CHIP grant with the City of Grand Rapids. So all of those efforts are to ensure collaboration and to prevent duplication of services.
Okay, thank you very
Welcome.
much.
Okay, Commissioner Bukowski?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, this proposal seems pretty straightforward, just a housekeeping, not housekeeping, but so we can accept the increased reimbursement rate. I just wanted to say, you know, it's exciting to hear the things that you're working on. It's good to hear that Commissioner Womack is watching more in the weeds, so I'll just stay back and cheer that we continue to move forward on this critical issue. So thank you for that work.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. That brings us to item 6, also from the Health Department. Wayman?
Yeah, this is a request to the board to approve the Health Department's 270 Inc. grant agreement, accept and appropriate $10,000 in the 2018-19 Health Fund budget, and authorize the board chair to execute the grant agreement and approve grant extensions and changes within 15% of the original award. 270 Inc. is an organization that provides funding to municipalities which focus on the improvement of the environment on the well-being of animals. The Health Department has received funding to purchase and install noise baffles in the holding and adoption kennel areas to reduce the anxiety that dogs experience with high levels of noise. Funding is also provided to purchase 2 warming blankets and repair 2 oximeters. Total cost of the equipment and repairs is $10,000. The grant period is December 28, 2018 through June 1, 2019.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Support.
All right, moved and supported. Questions, comments, and discussion on this one? Yes, Commissioner Womack?
I would like to know what an oximeter is, so if I ever come across that again, I know exactly what it is and what it does.
Yes, the oximeter, essentially it measures the amount of oxygen in the blood. It can also monitor pulse and heart rate.
Okay, thank you very much.
Pulse oximeter.
Commissioner Bukowski?
All right, thank you, Chair. Because my district isn't covered by the road commission, my number one complaint is the animal shelter, not potholes, which I hear some of you get complaints about. But when it comes to the animal shelter, I mean, this is great that we're getting this grant. What strikes me, though, is it seems like, A, not a huge amount of money, and B, kind of basic operations. And so, you know, when do we get a bigger picture of what's happening at the animal shelter and those pieces? I'm assuming, you know, you do your reports to Legislative Human Resources. However, you know, is this, if these 2 machines are broken, why wouldn't it be just the normal course of business to fix it, or is it just this opportunity? And again, it just seems like we should have done this before finding this grant.
Right. Part of that is budget, so, you know, if we hadn't budget for those equipment, so we have 2 oximeters and one of them broke and the other one isn't reliable, so just having the repair cost for that, and that's probably half of the cost of the $10,000. We can prepare maybe a special order of business to present kind of all the efforts that are going on at the shelter. Sarah Simmons, our environmental health director, has certainly worked very closely with different agencies, Bissell Pet Foundation. She's also worked with an agency called Best Friends Society. And some of the recommendations around the noise baffles is coming out of some of the organizations and other independent organizations who have done some evaluation of the animal shelter to make some recommendations for that probably make the experience of going to the animal shelter better for those who are coming to adopt and for the animals that are residing there. So we'd be happy to share more information with the full board in a report or some other format.
Yeah, I don't know if it's special order of business or just a report to us or LHR, and yeah,
We'd be happy to do that.
yeah. All right, cool, thanks.
Commissioner Sparks?
Thank you. How many animals are currently in the shelter right now?
Well, that's a That's a good question. Usually I get the reports quarterly, so we probably have anywhere from, I'm going to guess probably 30, maybe 30 dogs. I'm not sure how many cats or kittens that we have right now, but.
Who can ever
Yeah.
know how many cats are anywhere?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Usually we have Commissioner Miscellaneous. I don't see that on the agenda, but we're going to go ahead and do it now anyway. So any Commissioner Miscellaneous this morning? Yes, Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you. I'd like to do a shout out to Dick Volkowski's staff, not Commissioner Volkowski per se, but his staff. One of my employees is facing some challenges, and Dick's staff was very professional. Thank you. Dave. Oh, Dave, sorry. I'm living in the past.
Or maybe you were, never mind.
And the other thing is, first time I've heard of pulse oximetry on animals. We use them a lot in the ambulance, and they're not the most durable piece of equipment, just to let everybody know. So.
Commissioner Brevy?
Thank you, Chair.
Hey, Dick.
I just wanted to echo, our moment of silence that we had earlier for the Sheriff's Department and all the first responders. It was a very challenging night, it sounds like, and I think the, road ahead will be tough for a lot of family and people that have been working on the scene. So I just want to, say I'm praying for you, and we just all need to keep you guys in our prayers as you work hard through this. So thanks for all that you do.
Okay, Commissioner Womack?
I also want to thank the Sheriff's Department and all our first response teams for what they're doing in Cedar Springs. I also want to thank the Sheriff's Department for giving me a review of some of the medical services that they provide for prisoners this week, and quickly answering some small questions, not any major issues, just some questions from the community for those who are incarcerated that may already have received some medical attention and need that continued while they're in the county, and they were able to respond very, very quickly. And I know they had to take some important time away, just to address that. It didn't take very long to address that, but it helped me to be able to address my constituents. So just want to thank the Sheriff's Department for that.
Okay, any other Commissioner Miscellaneous this morning? Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned. Our next meeting date is March 5th, 2019.
I am Kent County. I am Kent County.
I am Kent County.
We are 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 Kent County.
Beya, Kent County. Ami, Kent County.
Somos, Kent County.
Mas Ira, Kent County.
We are Kent County. We are Kent County. We are Kent County. Oh yeah.